Hi, this is Jeffrey Kurt Financial Group. Today's Monday, May 4th, 2026. Star Wars Day, May the 4th be with you. And tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo. So a lot of stuff going on this week. Enjoy both days. End of the week, we get jobs data for April. Back to the boring stuff. We'll get some jobs numbers throughout the week. But we start the week at all-time highs, which is incredible. I'll just post the numbers here for last week and year to date. Some other things I think I want to go over, and you can look at those. But also, again, all-time highs with just the headlines out of the Middle East and all the cultural divide and violence and all this stuff going on, and the markets don't seem to care. Well, I think there's another thing going on, and it's just this investment in AI. Now, whether you like AI or don't, the fact is it is driving the economy and driving the markets. Last week, with the earnings announcements from Amazon and Google specifically and Apple, their numbers were blowout numbers. Let me give you some of the reviews. The three of them reported collective revenue growth of 20%, earnings growth of 61%. Within those numbers, some of it flows through their private investments in the AI. Maybe it's Anthropic and the OpenAI, stuff like that. But that's really generating a lot of the demand in the economy. And let me run to another number. The AI hyperscaler CapEx spending now totals $751 billion. That's $80 billion above the estimates from the start of the earnings season, which is just weeks ago. So, a 10% increase for over a handful of weeks and 83% higher than 2025. So the reality is all this AI investing and CapEx spending is just chasing a lot of stuff and a lot of money flowing through the economy. I think also it's interesting that the software companies are not doing so well. Now, Meta and Microsoft last week with their numbers, Meta's trying to make a change here with the AI. They did the huge bond offering last week to try to do some CapEx spending, and it's a big challenge for them. And then Microsoft overall has a headwind of perhaps less licenses for the Windows software. Now they're doing some things on AI, and it looks like they're properly positioned, but they've got that headwind of less licenses because of the AI. So a lot going on. It'd be a busy week, but I want to pass it along. Is that the market's going up in the face of what looks to be just terrible news and surroundings and an environment, but it's because of this AI. There's just so much money being spent there and invested, and the companies can't make enough of the hardware and the AI stuff and all that. So interesting times. We'll leave it there. I've gone a little bit long, but we'll leave it there. Please let me know any questions. There's a lot of data that I have here, just can't fit it into one of these videos, and happy to try to help you understand and think about this. Thank you again, and we'll be back on Wednesday. Goodbye.